Hi, it's Dre Griggs, and on this Wisdom Wednesday, we will be discussing 5 traits that every high achiever has. What is it that sets a high achiever apart from the rest of us? What is it that they do each day? What are the type of things that they're thinking in the mindset? As you guys already know, most things start with our mindset. That is where we are able to drive and motivate ourselves to be able to pick up certain disciplines so that we're able to accomplish the goals that we have set for ourselves. When it comes to financial planning, things are no different. If you are looking for someone who is very wealthy, very successful, you will find that they often have some of the same disciplines no matter what aspect of their life they're working on. Because a lot of the times, if we lack discipline in one part of our life, we generally will lack discipline in other parts of our life. It is very difficult for us to be able to turn the switch on and off. As the scripture says, you can't have like fresh water and salt water come out of the same faucet. And so when you're thinking about what is it that I'm trying to accomplish, oftentimes you have to start with who is the person I'm trying to become. And when it comes to a high achiever, one of the things you will find is that they are very well organized. And it's not just organized in the sense that they, make sure everything is clean and everything has a place and it goes there. And it's not even that all of them are naturally organized people. Sometimes they have to hire someone who is able to help them to stay organized, someone who manages their calendar and make sure that they go to each of their appointments, make sure that they're not double booked. They're the ones that kind of dot the I's and cross the T's for them. It is not that you have to be that type of a person, because everybody's not, but it is that that type of a person is necessary in your life. And so you can think of really any kind of like dynamic duo of any company that you would think of, right? The more common is going to be maybe like Steve Jobs at a Tim Ferriss, something like that, where you're sitting there and you're like, okay, one person seems to be the visionary, someone who's kind of the outgoing and is just kind of pushing, and then the other person seems to be the nuts and bolts person. It's not to say that both of them don't share some of these qualities, but oftentimes when it comes to a company, you will focus on what your strengths are, and then you will hire out someone else. You will find someone else who their strength is the opposite, and then you guys work together. And so it's really no different when it comes to you becoming a high achiever. What are some of the tasks that you have set aside that you have to do each day that maybe there was some way that you guys can work with someone else where you guys can collaborate, build some synergies? Or maybe if it's your own company, then you would have to just be able to hire someone that's going to help you with the small things. Now, if you are already someone who is very well organized, then maybe you have to find someone that is able to pull you out of the weeds so that you're able to see the whole vision, right? We don't want to miss the forest for the trees, where there's an aspect of both that is necessary. And so you want to make sure that you have that clarity. But you won't find any high achiever that is not well organized, because they know how to manage their time. They know what they are working towards, and they know whether each individual thing that is offered to them is something that they're very interested in. And that leads us very nicely into the second one, because they are mission driven. When you have a mission and you are driven by it, it helps to bring clarity around all of the actions that you're going to take in a given day or a week or a month, where you will look at your mission, whatever those goals are, and you will say, okay, this aligns with this mission and this vision that I have, and that clarity is going to help you always to stay on track. Because the only way, and most high achievers will tell you this, the only way that they're able to achieve their larger goals is because they've taken small steps every single day to get there. And the only way that you can do that is you're going to have to be able to say, this is what I'm working towards. Does this help me accomplish that task? If it helps you to accomplish the task, then go ahead and get started. If it doesn't, then you don't want to worry about it, because it's only driving you further away from your goal. We often think that we can take small breaks, and a lot of the times it's not the worst thing in the world, but it takes a certain amount of time to build back the momentum, to build back the focus and the mindset that you had on that particular task. And then if you keep taking breaks, where you keep taking detours, it will stall your overall dream and you're accomplishing that vision. So you want to be mission driven, so that way you feel every single week that you are taking small steps towards your goal. And it doesn't have to be where like 100% of the time you're focused only on your goal. Obviously, you should give yourself some break times in there, but you should batch them. And so what I mean is you should give yourself a set amount of time to check your email. Not that you check your email all day, every day, because then you're reacting and losing some of that momentum. But maybe you give yourself an hour in the morning, an hour in the afternoon, an hour at night. Or maybe give yourself 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes at night. However it is that you want to do it, you want to make sure that you're giving yourself the ability to stay focused by giving yourself the ability to take breaks and to relax and kind of stray a little bit. But you just want to make sure that you're spending the most of your time on the task. And if you've ever read the book The Razor's Edge, then you know that it is 6 small tasks that we want to make sure that we do each day to become the person that we want to become. So that high achiever, there are certain things that type of a person will do every day. You find those 6 things, you write them down, and then you make sure that those 6 things are done every single day. And then you'll find that you get the result that you want. It's a very small difference between success and failure. It's a very small line between first place and 10th place in any type of a race. It's only hundredths of a second, but the reward is significantly different. So you want to make sure that you give yourself that small advantage so that you're able to reap the much larger reward. And if you have any additional questions about retirement planning, I invite you to check out my free retirement planning video training at obsidianwisdom.com/training. In it, I give you the entire Wisdometric framework that I use with my clients to help them eradicate financial stress, generate a passive income, and build a prosperous retirement strategy. And the third thing is that you want to be curious. And curiosity is important because you have to be interested in reading and learning about your craft. So a lot of our abilities to become a high achiever is tied to how we set ourselves apart from the rest of the people. So when it comes to like leadership style, if you have a leader that was just promoted and they're just going to kind of wing it and see how it works, well, that probably doesn't work as well. Versus a leader who says, okay, I got this new position, I'm very interested in seeing how different people lead. So then you start reading different leadership books and you're able to craft your own leadership style while also making sure that you increase your awareness. And that's the beauty of curiosity. There's a level of awareness that we're living with. And every time we're introduced to something new, it increases our awareness. Where now we're saying, okay, I know that now. I know that strategy. I know that trick. And you find that awareness is tied to wisdom. You have a better understanding of the experiences that you had, and that then allows you to make different and better decisions in the future. There are definitely many songs that I listened to as a kid, and the words meant absolutely nothing to me. And then you get a little bit older, you go through different experiences, right? You go to college, you get married, you have kids, things like that. And then all of a sudden, the words of a song have much more meaning, and it's much more, it pricks you. It's much more impactful. And there's a lot of experiences that we have that are just like that, where even if you're trying to figure out what maybe to eat and what's healthy and what's not, as you read and learn about different ingredients, it changes your awareness, which then changes the mindset that you have. So you have to have a level of curiosity. And the reason is very simple, right? If you look at even the example I gave with just food, a lot of the ingredients that they list aren't really in English, right? It's in like funny words so that you don't know what it is. You'd have to be curious enough to actually Google and learn what those ingredients are, where they're used, and how they could impact the overall health that you have. And so that's why curiosity is so important, and you find that trait universally among high achievers. The fourth one that we have is that they want to be competitive. Not in a way that you're like cheating or trying to win, but competitive in the sense that you hold yourself to a standard where you expect to perform well, you expect to win. You're not just going to say, oh, well, that didn't work out for me today, but you're going to say, you know what, there's something that I could do a little bit better, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to come back, and then I'm going to win. And if you have that mindset, then it opens up the ability for you to constantly be improving, which will then give you the ability to constantly be learning and growing with your curiosity and your overall awareness towards that mission driven. That you want to make sure that you are very competitive in a healthy way, where you work with other people, where maybe you join a mindset group, where other people who are being successful, if you surround yourself by those people, as you hear about their success, you will say, you know what, if they can do it, I can do it. You know what, if they tried that and that worked for them and they're in my mission driven kind of that same aspect, or maybe I could take a strategy that they have and I can pull that in a way that helps me to accomplish my goal. But you have to be competitive in the sense that you believe that if someone else is able to accomplish something, then surely you can accomplish it too. You just have to be able to put a plan together that aligns with the same strategy that they're using so that you can get the exact same results that they have. And then that leads us into the fifth one, is that you got to be disciplined. Discipline is going to be that linchpin between everything. Once you have this knowledge, you understand what it is you need to do, what mindset you need to have, what the goals are, the planning it out. You still have to have the discipline to take action on that plan every single day. If you don't take action on it every single day, then you have this complete understanding of what you need to do, and yet you're not doing it, which can be very frustrating and discouraging, and then it can bring us further and further away from our goal, which often leads to regret. So you want to make sure that you are disciplined, and discipline is just, I make small actions every single day, small decisions every single day that bring me closer to the goal that I have. Now, discipline sometimes may feel like motivation when you get started, but discipline is still going to be, I can get myself to do something that I know I need to do, even if I don't want to do it, and I can keep myself from doing things that I know I shouldn't do, even though I sort of want to do it. And so if you build this discipline, it's going to help you to stay on the track. I think of discipline almost as the guardrails of my goal, where I don't want to drive too far to the right. I don't want to drive too far to the left because that wastes time. It's more efficient to drive in a straight line. Until next time, Wisdomites, remember, wisdom is asking the right questions to allow yourself to get the right answers. Keep asking those questions and you will keep getting those answers. Continue blessings.